Dallas can just use some lightning in a bottle, man. Because, like I said, I watched that game against Milwaukee last night, which was an absolute, heavyweight boxing match, competitive one too.
And then Luka fouls out, and Dallas has nothing.
It's just Luka, dude. It's just Luka on that team. It's unbelievable. Like, with how the seeding looks for the West, like, obviously we're still very early, but like hypothetically say Dallas runs into New Orleans. Dallas is going to die. And quickly. Because they only have Luka.
You brought him up. We are a basketball show.
Yeah.
What is your take on the blatant disregard for the unwritten rule of you're up by this much, you don't do this when the game's
are you talking about the Zion thing?
I'm talking about the Zion deck, yes.
Yeah, so, listen, man, if it was against us, fuck them. It's bullshit. Don't you ever do it, but it's not. Okay, it's not against me. But I loved it because New Orleans has been a team and a franchise that has been under scrutiny since the Anthony Davis trade in general. People love Zion, but people also question Zion because he doesn't play a lot. They've put a really nice core mixed of perimeter defenders, shooters, and a big man who can stretch the floor and rebound the ball. You brought in a veteran guard like CJ McCollum. They did some shit over there. And Phoenix was first last year in the West, I believe, and they're a very good team, veteran team. They got Booker over there, Ayton, Bridges, Chris Paul, and Chris Paul's a dick. And he did Tim K behind Kanye's back. So Zion just got back at him last night, dude. That's all it was. I'm cool with it. And you know what? You know why I'm even more cool with it? Is because none of them bitches went up to Zion and said shit. They did. Nobody went. Campaign said like a little tiny something, and it's like, listen. Zion will fucking snap you like a toothpick. It won't even be close. So Campaign did a little bit.
What Zion did to his own shoe, right?
Right. Like, imagine what he's going to do to you. It's just, I don't mind what Zion did. I think it's cool. I think that NBA rivalries are some of the coolest things if done right. And unfortunately for us, we don't get a lot of them anymore. We don't get those high-end NBA rivalries like we had when we were kids. And even before, in the early 90s, late 80s.
Yeah, there's no Bulls Knicks. You don't get the remnant. We get the remnants of it. Obviously, we have our disdain towards our Knicks fans, but there really hasn't been a rivalry.
Think about ones from when we were kids. I think about San Antonio and the Lakers when we were kids. That was a big one because those guys were in the Western Conference and they were always constantly going at it. I think a lot about and I know this is kind of a bad example, but it is one that did exist and that everybody always got up for. Is remember when Tracy McGrady went to Orlando? When he decided to go there? Remember when AI was at his peak? Those Magic Philadelphia 76ers games were rowdy as shit because you had people wanted to claim who the best player in the NBA was. We don't get a lot of that these days. So hopefully that Pelican Sun thing sparks something because I think that would be really cool for the game. And new fans.
No, to your point, that was not done to a bum-ass team. That was done to a contending team that is seen as a contender for this season. And Pelicans are at home. If you don't want that to happen to you, stop it. Defense. Right. I am not ever going to hold a player like Zion, somebody who's trying to build his legacy and rebuild his brand and his name.
His reputation, really.
Everything he's gone through. I would not expect or would I want to see that man turn down the opportunity to do what he did at the end of that game.
No, I loved every
exclamation mark for that fan base, for their team, for that chemistry for the team. Our dude is back. He's here. We're going to have it. That was a message. And unfortunately, the Suns had to receive it and they weren't too happy about it. But for the game of basketball, to say that that's a negative, that's an unwritten rule that you don't break, fuck that. Sorry. Break that rule every single time against one of your conference rivals that is now going to be a legitimate rivalry because that is good for the game.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. I hope we get to a point where the Bulls can do that to somebody.
We've got Mr. Grayson. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, well, Milwaukee is just leaps and bounds better than us right now, and I know that. So like, I won't allow, even though I can't stand anybody within the division. You know what kind of fan I am. Like before I hate, whatever team LeBron's on in the Western Conference, or before I hated Miami, when he went there, like I hated Cleveland still more. I still hated Detroit more because those are the guys that we have to play constantly in the Central. So I mean, I just won't accept yet that we are a legitimate threat to Milwaukee because they are so fucking good. They are so good. Stupid to watch, man. What a crazy team.
Especially now that Middleton's coming back.
And he doesn't look like he missed a fucking beat either. He's just starting to click as it comes. But